All right, folks, I want to do a quick blurb on holistic management. Nature thrives on disturbance, right? But it's like, so stress, disturbance, stress, same thing. So nature needs disturbances or stressors. Too much is bad, not enough is bad. And so I'm out here with my scythe. I'm out here with my scythe, and I'm clearing this this brush behind me. And I get to this point where there's these reeds starting to come up. Most of it's dry and brushy, but there's these reeds behind me. And as I'm cutting, I'm starting to see tree frogs hop away, little tiny ones, and they're native tree frogs. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm managing for the whole, and I don't want to destroy all this cover habitat that these tree frogs are living on. Even though this is a non-native reed, patch of reeds they're living in, still providing an important function as cover. They probably are hunting in there and hiding from predators because they're little ones. So maybe they just hatched, this year, or yeah, I guess turned into a frog this year, and they're out in the world. Well, those little tree frogs, first of all, there's a ton of them. They're very hungry, and they're going to be acting as pest management in my garden. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grow sunflowers, okra, corn, and these, which is going to be, especially the corn, is going to be very similar in structure and habitat type to this, to these reeds behind me. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to go cut all that down to expand my garden because there's tree frogs living in there. And this whole area around here doesn't have another patch like this. And so there's something attractive about it to them. So when we manage land, we have to pay attention to every little detail, and it's all data, and we're just taking it in, and we're having to decide what's the deal with that data. How do we make decisions based off of that data? So for me, I'm making this decision. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm right, so I'm going to quit clearing right here. This is plenty of ground to get me started, and as I begin to grow a functioning habitat, and if I begin to observe these tree frogs moving into my garden, that'd be amazing. Then, and only then, do I feel comfortable expanding the garden into that area. Because you're not going to destroy a home unless you're starting a better home, right? The only way to kick somebody out of their house is to build a better house and be like, hey, you want to come live here? And they'll be like, oh, heck yeah. And then you can go take the house that they moved out of. I don't know, maybe that's a bad example. But you get the idea, the concept of what I'm working with here. And so I'm not just, the sole focus of this garden isn't to produce food. That's called conventional agriculture. And they spray chemicals, it's a mess, heavy machinery, yada, yada, yada. But that's not what we're doing here. We're managing for the whole system. And there's already existing ecosystem functions happening. And so I want to actually make that even greater. And so I'm going to plant a small area with a similar habitat type to that and see what happens. If the animals move in, praise God. If not, maybe I shouldn't go take the rest of this. I'll just leave it for the tree frogs because, again, they're providing a valuable service to me as pest control. Because one of the biggest pests actually are moths. And they lay eggs, and their caterpillars eat stuff. Well, guess what tree frogs like to eat? Moths, and they're active at night like a moth. And so they're going to be out here looking over my garden for me. And so rather than taking their home, because they're eager to serve my purpose of growing food. So that's just the way I'm thinking about holistic management, and I wanted a cool shot with my scythe.